My name is Gabe, and I'm in our family business of real estate development and home building and real estate sales. And my grandfather actually started our company back in 1948. So we're just crossing into 76 years. And really from the beginning, it's been a testimony of the Lord from, my granddad and grandmother's steps of faith to be able to start this business. He grew up as a sharecropper, not too far from where we're at in, kind of Northwest Fulton County and Cherokee and Forsyth counties. And so he went to World War II, came back, met my grandmother. They got married, and then he started building a home for himself and my grandmother. And with a mule and a scoop, we're talking really old school stuff back then. And they were doing it. They had day jobs. They were just doing it kind of nights and weekends. And finally, they were getting close to having this house complete. And a couple came along, a similar story of somebody who a World War II veteran, just got married. And they said, "Hey, we'd love to buy this house." He said, "No way. I'm in my in-laws' house right now. We're hustling to get this house done and move in." And the couple came back the next day, said, "No, we're serious." So our granddad talked to grandmother, and they decided, all right, we're going to sell it. So it's about $6,000. And this is Wyuka Road, Buckhead area, for those of you familiar with that. And that was in the sticks, which is nonsensical, to say that today. But anyway, so 3 times over that happened. And he finally said, "I got to move in the basement of one of these houses because we got to get out of my in-laws' house," which he had a great relationship with. This is an old pig farm, and again, in Buckhead. So, fast forward that story. So he's developing, he's building, he's selling these houses. And then in the mid-50s, he got to a spot where he couldn't figure out, I got to have some help. So he decided, let's start a real estate company. And he named it Northside Realty because it was the north side of town, which is where all this great growth was happening. And his first broker that he hired was a guy named Ed Isaacson. And then Ed led the company for several years. And then his son, Johnny, graduated from University of Georgia in 1968 and opened up the East Cobb office for this company. And so Johnny Isaacson, for those you don't know, later got into local politics and eventually served as our U.S. Senator for the state of Georgia and just passed a year and a half ago. But interesting, it was neat because Johnny Isaacson flew down for Granddad's funeral, so I got to preach part of it, and Mr. Isaacson did part of it as well. So anyway, that's the kind of the cool backstory. But during all this stretch, Granddad's heart, I describe him as a home builder by trade, but a church planter by heart. So he started a church in Sandy Springs at the time, Northside Baptist Church, and then it later moved to Roswell in the mid-'70s. And then from there decided after he and Dad developed the polo fields, the polo club now that's in Forsyth County. He had moved up that way and decided we need to plant a church up here. So he also built a home for mentally handicapped men that's now in Milton that was served by the Georgia Baptist for many, many years. So for us, really that kind of mentality of doing business, but doing ministry simultaneously, those two things for us are married together. I don't normally dress up like this. I was actually at the state capitol this morning testifying. I got invited to testify to the small business committee on, the needs of the Home Builders Association. I serve in a couple capacities there and what that looks like for realtors and everybody else who's in the small business world and trying to create jobs and, provide for families. And, but part of what was neat about this story was getting to share that, really our business has been, faith led, and that we trust the Lord with the big decision, all decisions, but especially those monumental decisions that we make. So even in those moments, it's neat. And I think all of us as professionals, look for those opportunities to intertwine. I won't say it's Romans Road per se, but, pieces of the gospel where we can in those kind of moments. So we're always looking for those types of opportunities. So our business today, it's Cherokee County is home to a lot of our developments and where I personally live. And we're also heavily in the real estate brokerage business today as well, with 3 Keller Williams offices in the north part of Atlanta that have thankfully had some really good leadership, and we've had some good success there. So I'm the oldest of 3 boys, and we still work with our dad every day, and it's truly a family business. And we joke that we vacation together, we go to church together, we have Christmas together, and so we're together a lot, and it's challenging. Any business would be challenging with anybody, and with family, there's those moments. But we joke that we all eat out of the same trough, so we gotta figure out how to make it work. So we love the dynamics there. With that said, obviously, as for us raising our family, my wife and I have 4 kids in local schools, and we're in Cherokee County, the Hickory Flat area. There's been a need and opportunity from our church, First Baptist Alpharetta, to say, how can we create something new in a place where we have just an enormous amount of folks that are driving to the location, but I know in our community, we've oftentimes had neighbors come to church, even some come to faith, but the challenge has been there's just too much of a disconnect. And so it's exciting. So we're able now to plan a new campus. It'll be the first true venue for First Baptist Alpharetta, but able to do that in the Hickory Flat area. So we'll start in our local middle school, and then obviously in time we hope to grow to our own facility as we kind of continue to see some neat things happen. But there's so many great churches in our community without question. But as we all know, there's the capacity of lostness in our community is also staggering, and we just want to be part of that gospel-centered solution to see people come to know Jesus. And again, so much of it flows through our daily life of on the ball field or in our kids' classrooms. I joke that I've been Mystery Reader of the Year several times, which my kids remind me is not actually an award. But anyway, trying to find, coaching little sports and obviously our business life, trying to say, we're already having gospel-centered conversations. How can we now root that to a local church that's truly local? So we're excited about those opportunities going ahead. But thank you for all of what you men and women do, and doing a great job with getting the word out on how to live out our faith in our 9 to 5 and then some. Sure. Yeah, we have just hired our campus pastor for that position. We just announced that family joining us just this past weekend. So really everything is still being kind of run through our website through fbca.com. And you can find details on that new campus and even some other church plants we're a part of. It'll be true sent plants as opposed to a campus. So kind of all the latest and greatest details that are coming together will be found there. So yeah, we're excited about that.